5 years had passed since the first intergalactic contact, and the Nexus Prime Council chamber had been completely transformed. The original crystalline dome had been expanded into a massive multi-dimensional space that existed partially in normal reality and partially in what the Andromedans called consensus space. A shared dimensional pocket where representatives from dozens of galaxies could meet, regardless of their physical limitations. Council Speaker Zeth Kree, his scales now permanently shifted to the deep blue that indicated wonder and satisfaction, called the Universal Assembly to order. Around him sat not just the original 47 species from the Milky Way, but representatives from over 300 different civilizations spanning 42 galaxies. "We gather today to commemorate the 5th anniversary of the Great Opening," he announced, his voice now translated simultaneously into thousands of languages and forms of communication. "And to welcome home our human friends, who return to us transformed." A section of the chamber's reality shifted, and a massive vessel materialized in the center of the assembly space. The ship defied every conventional understanding of spacecraft design. It appeared to be grown rather than built, its living hull incorporating technologies from dozens of different galaxies. Crystalline Andromedan bioengineering merged seamlessly with Magellanic quantum manipulation, while structures that could only have come from the distant Sculptor galaxy pulsed with energy that bent space-time around them. From the ship's organic airlock emerged a group of beings that the council members barely recognized as human. They still possessed the basic bipedal form and general appearance of their species, but 5 years of intergalactic exploration had changed them in profound ways. Director Sarah Chen, now bearing the title of First Ambassador of the Universal Exploration Initiative, walked with a grace that seemed to defy gravity. Her eyes held depths that suggested she had seen wonders beyond imagination. And when she spoke, her words carried harmonics that resonated with every species present. "Friends of the Galactic Council," she began, her voice warm with genuine affection, "we return to you not as the humans who left, but as something new. We are still human, but we are also more than we were when we departed." Beside her stood Captain Vasquez, but she was no longer alone in her human form. Somehow, she existed simultaneously as a human woman and as a crystalline Andromedan, the two forms occupying the same space without conflict. "The universe has taught us that identity is not fixed," Captain Vasquez explained, her dual nature creating a harmony of human speech and Andromedan thought projection. "We can be ourselves while also becoming something greater." Dr. Marcus Webb, the expedition's chief scientist, had undergone perhaps the most dramatic transformation. His consciousness now existed in a symbiotic relationship with a collective intelligence from the Perseus galaxy, giving him access to the accumulated knowledge of millions of years of scientific advancement while retaining his essential humanity. "What we've discovered," Dr. Webb said, his voice layered with multiple tones of wisdom, "is that consciousness itself is the fundamental force of the universe. Every galaxy, every civilization, every individual being contributes to a universal awareness that spans all of creation." Ambassador Veltar's crystalline form shifted through colors that had no names, indicating emotions for which her species had no words. "You speak of concepts that challenge everything we thought we understood about existence itself. Because everything we thought we understood was just the beginning," replied Director Chen. "The universe isn't just vast in terms of physical space. It's infinite in terms of consciousness, possibility, and potential for growth." The human delegation activated a massive holographic display that filled the entire assembly space. What appeared was not a map of galaxies or star systems, but something far more profound. A representation of the universe as a living, conscious entity. Every civilization that achieves intergalactic cooperation becomes part of this greater consciousness, explained Dr. Webb. Not by losing their individuality, but by adding their unique perspective to the infinite symphony of existence. General Thox, his massive frame trembling with awe, struggled to comprehend what he was seeing. "Are you saying that the universe itself is alive?" "Not alive in the way we understand biological life," Director Chen replied, "but conscious, aware, and constantly growing through the experiences and achievements of every being within it." When humanity left the Milky Way, We became part of something larger than ourselves. And now, through our connection to you, all of our civilizations are becoming part of that greater whole. Ambassador Zixthara materialized in the center of the assembly, its form now somehow familiar and comforting to the council members who had grown accustomed to intergalactic contact. The humans speak truly, the Andromedan confirmed. Their departure from your galaxy was not an ending, but a beginning. They have shown the universe that consciousness can transcend biological limitations, that cooperation can bridge any distance, and that love and friendship are forces more powerful than any technology. Dr. Zyloff, his massive brain now enhanced with neural interfaces from a dozen different galactic civilizations, pulsed with patterns of pure joy. The implications for scientific advancement, for philosophical understanding, for the very meaning of existence, are infinite, completed Director Chen, because we've learned that infinity itself is not a limitation, but an invitation to keep growing, keep exploring, and keep becoming more than we ever imagined possible. The human delegation began sharing the gifts they had brought back from their 5-year journey, technologies that could heal any injury, reverse aging, and even restore consciousness to those who had been thought permanently lost. Art forms that existed in dimensions beyond normal perception, creating beauty that touched the soul directly, scientific principles that revealed the fundamental interconnectedness of all matter and energy in the universe. But the greatest gift was something far more subtle. The knowledge that every individual being, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, played a crucial role in the universe's continued evolution toward greater consciousness and understanding. When we left quietly 5 years ago, Director Chen said, her voice carrying across the assembly space to touch every listening mind, we thought we were simply following our nature as explorers. We didn't realize we were fulfilling our role as bridges between different levels of universal consciousness. Captain Vasquez, her dual nature now seamlessly integrated, added, what we've learned is that every species, every civilization, every individual has a unique contribution to make to the universe's growth. The Vorthak's emotional honesty, the Tellurian's crystalline clarity, the Corvan's steadfast determination, the Andromedan's quantum awareness. All of these perspectives are necessary for the universe to understand itself completely. The assembly fell into a profound silence as the implications of these revelations settled in. They were not just random collections of matter that happened to achieve consciousness. They were integral components of a universe that was itself conscious, aware, and constantly striving to grow and understand itself more completely. Council Speaker Zethkree's scales shifted to a new color that none of his species had ever displayed before, a deep, luminous gold that seemed to capture and reflect light from dimensions beyond normal perception. What happens now? He asked, his voice filled with wonder. How do we proceed with this knowledge? We continue doing what we've always done. Director Chen replied with a smile that somehow encompassed all the wisdom and joy of the universe. We explore, we learn, we grow, and we help others do the same. But now we do it with the understanding that every step we take, every discovery we make, every friendship we forge, contributes to the universe's ongoing journey toward perfect understanding of itself. The humans will continue their intergalactic explorations, Captain Vasquez announced, but will never again truly leave you behind. Through quantum consciousness networks, we'll remain connected across any distance. Every new galaxy we contact, every new civilization we befriend, every new mystery we unravel will be shared instantly with all of our friends here in the Milky Way. Over the months that followed, the transformation of galactic civilization accelerated beyond anything anyone could have imagined. Species that had been content with their home worlds began launching expeditions to distant galaxies. Art, science, philosophy, and technology advanced at rates that made centuries of previous progress seem glacial. But more importantly, every being in the galaxy began to understand their role in the universe's grand design. They were not just passengers on a cosmic journey. They were active participants in the universe's quest to understand itself completely. The Galactic Council evolved into the Universal Coordination Network, facilitating communication and cooperation between thousands of civilizations across dozens of galaxies. Every day brought new contacts, new discoveries, and new opportunities for growth and understanding. And at the center of it all, The humans who had left quietly 5 years earlier continued their work as bridges between different forms of consciousness, helping the universe explore every possibility for growth, understanding, and transcendence. The breaking point that had driven humanity to leave had become the breakthrough that transformed not just the galaxy, but the entire universe's understanding of itself. In seeking the impossible, humanity had discovered that nothing was impossible, only unexplored. The universe was infinite. Consciousness was eternal. And every being had a role to play in the grand symphony of existence that would continue growing more beautiful and complex for all of time. And somewhere, in the vast network of connected galaxies, human voices continued to call out to new civilizations, inviting them to join the universal dance of consciousness that had no end and no limits. The quiet departure had become the loud declaration that existence itself was just the beginning of an infinite adventure in understanding, growth, and transcendence that would never reach completion, because completion itself was an illusion. There was always more to discover, more to become, and more to explore in the endless mystery of conscious existence.